Comes this summer. The Disturbed's going on the 20th anniversary tour for their debut album, The Sickness. From deep in the heart of Chicago, Illinois, came a little ragtag band called Disturbed, who couldn't get arrested in the city. Boy, you want to play rock and roll in the city of Chicago, you better go out to the suburbs, because the city is all pop music. Disturbed, ground it out, got themselves a big old major label deal, and went on to take on the world.
Good for them.
20 years hence, they're celebrating. Disturbed with Stained opening.
Hey.
There you go.
Oh,
It's come full circle.
I would call that concert. Oh, I thought they played that song.
All right.
Oh, this one's by State. I thought this was Disturbed. Oh, this is very confusing.
Man, I thought, is this Disdained? Disturbed with very special guests, Stained and Bad Wolves, which you'll hear in MMS. That's a little bit of a super group, I think. Friday, August 21st is when that show's going to happen out at Blossom. The tickets will go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. If you're a Disturbed and or Stained and or Bad Wolves fan. FYI. I like Disturbed very much. They are very serious. At least David Draymond is.
About what?
Is very serious.
Who's more serious, David Draymond or Aaron? Is it Lewis?
Aaron Lewis from Stained.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Lewis.
Yeah.
He
The
does
country
his own
guy.
stuff.
Well, yes, when
Yeah.
Stained stopped doing what they were doing, he went off and did a country thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now he's back with Stained.
I was like, why do I know that name?
Yeah. Right. That's how you know
That's
Aaron
how I-
Lewis.
their song.
That's how I know Aaron Lewis.
You know the Stained hit.
Everything's so blurry.
No, that's
that's
Puddle
Puddle
of
Mud.
Mud.
Oh, yeah,
Stained.
it all runs together.
is-
Stained is it's an
I'm
acoustic guitar.
on the outside.
Oh.
And a lot of other ones.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But
That's like a drug song.
That was a song that was so big it like transcended what they were. So they got a bunch of fans that didn't like anything other than that song by them. I got a ton of play.
Well, that live version
Yeah.
that he did with Fred Durst.
Yeah.
Yeah. That live version that they did at like Woodstock 99.
Did
if you
Fred
will.
Durst die?
He did not die.
Nope.
Much to the chagrin, I think, of a lot of people who didn't like Limp Bizkit. But they're doing the Incarceration Festival this summer.
Oh.
So, Stained, Disturbed, Bad Wolves. I think that's a solid night of rock and roll.
Yeah,
It's a solid
I like
night of
Bad
rock
Wolves.
and roll. There's probably every chance that you might have seen yourself on the same casino schedule as Aaron Lewis. That's
Oh,
probably
yes.
how you recognize.
Man, my
But
casino gigs this weekend.
Aaron Lewis also started to get a bit of a reputation as a guy who didn't handle hecklers well. He's one of those
Yeah.
guys. Yep.
Is that a bunch of racist stuff, I'm guessing?
No, a bit of a.
just kind of snaps back.
He's got a short fuse. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
But that's a band that started very, very heavy and dark and got a whole lot more kind of mainstreamed out. Mm-hmm. You know, when they started, they were very much in the kind of Korn camp, and then they went a little bit more towards the, I don't know, Nickelback camp, maybe. You know more than one Stained song, right? You know, it's been a while. You know that one,
yeah.
right?
And it's been a while.
This is definitely a song I would have heard and been like, I thought this
I
was
love
Disturbed.
this song.
You know that was Disturbed. Fade is a good song. Yeah, again, they all sound, you know, they're
Yeah.
right there for people who like that kind of stuff. I remember
Yeah.
seeing Stained live many years ago, and it was a solid meat and potatoes rock show. Front to back. You're
There you
like,
go.
there's a hit, there's a hit. You know, it's very much in that Nickelback camp where you're
Yeah.
like, if you like them, it's going to
You
be
like
a great
'em.
night. Mm-hmm. You know. Disturbed is a bit more kind of all black, you know, here we are together, and, you know,
Yeah.
very much heavy metal Jesus. But, you know,
What are you going to do?
what are you going to do? You're going to go see that band, I think. And if we can find a way to work Poundcakes, if I can work Pound with the Sickness into something, if I can bribe a sound guy or something, I will
That's
absolutely
fantastic.
do it. I don't ask for much.
Pound with the Sickness.
But if I can get somebody involved, the sound system at Blossom, to squeeze that in,
Feels like you could. That seems like an attainable goal.
Yeah, but the sound guy would be the one to get blamed.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not trying to jam up anybody's.
Sound guys don't take their job seriously anyway.
Well,
so
they
it's-
should.
I'm kidding.
Of course they do. How are your? Speaking of casino gigs,
Oh,
how are
boy.
yours?
Dude, these were wild.
You were
Like,
in
Cumberland, Maryland.
Friday. Yep, you were
That
in
was
Cumberland
Thursday.
Yeah,
Thursday.
You were telling me a little bit.
Friday was
West Virginia.
Cross Lanes, West Virginia, which is just outside of Charleston.
Cross Lanes.
Cross Lanes.
Look, let me do this money first,
Yeah,
and then we'll
go ahead.
slide into this.
Sure.
All right, I got $1,000 here for you. A chance for you to go fund yourself. Good luck.
Hey, it's Rover. Go fund yourself. We have your shot at $1,000 now. Text the nationwide keyword SAVE to the number 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's SAVE to 200-200. Good luck and go fund yourself from 100.7 WMMS.
Casino.
So Thursday night in Cumberland was actually, we had a customer call in about that specific place, Rocky Gap Resort, last week. And it is
Right.
a really nice place, like big. They got like all waterfront. There's like a little beach area and pools, and it's really cool. But we're in like this separate room. It's a little bit of an older crowd, just what you think it's going to be. It's a casino crowd, and I'm like doing my set, and I get to a part about dating, and I was like, I went out with this one guy, and he was just the worst. And this one lady to my right just goes, "I bet I can beat that." And I was like, oh, I was like, have you dated people who are the worst? And then these two ladies were going back and forth sharing dating stories with me. Like the one woman was like,
But you didn't even get into the story,
No.
and she inserts herself.
I
into
said,
the...
I dated a guy, he was the worst. And she was like, bet I can beat that. I was like, I didn't even give you
Yeah.
a ground line to beat.
You don't know what I'm going
Like,
to say.
Exactly.
Man, the guy I dated was a necrophiliac.
Well, she said her and the girlfriend she was there with would play a game like I raise you. So she'd be like, I see your bad date, and I raise you this.
Sure.
And the one guy, she said she went on a date with a guy from a dating app who had no teeth, like none, not one single tooth in his whole head.
Well, you are in West Virginia.
No, it's
This is
Cumberland,
Cumberland,
Maryland,
Maryland.
Still,
but it's
shades
Pennsylvania,
of
Maryland. It's all
difference.
the same.
Yeah.
She said she went on a date with a guy who had absolutely no teeth, and when he showed up, she didn't know that, and he also had actual fecal matter in his boots.
Okay.
Like he stunk, and she looked at. They're called.
He's a farmer?
They're called shrimp stompers. Apparently, I had never heard this term before.
Or kickers? Or,
Yeah, she said they actually had like hunks of it, and he was not. Didn't phase him at all. That's just how he showed up to the date.
But came and picked her up
he's not-
right
I mean-
from work.
When someone doesn't have teeth, hygiene is not their thing.
I guess, yes. So that's someone she went on a date with. Her
But a cheap
friend.
date. I mean,
She
he's
still
only...
went on the date.
They went on the date. This is when I was like, I'm like, this place is wild. Like, because I was saying how dating is like now, you got to find someone on an app and it's not blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, you don't even get it. Like, try dating in such a small town, was what they were saying. The other lady went on a first date to a Burger King. That was where he decided to take her. And the guy she went on a date with was called D-Pick Nick.
Okay, there you go.
And she didn't
Probably
know
got him
that.
in my phone.
I was like, how many people has he sent this to that now he has a
Right.
nickname about it? And so they're just like going through these wild things, and I'm like, oh my God, that's insane. And then I get like a little bit later, go ahead.
I'm just thinking he took her to Burger King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's insane.
He's got
like,
a real Whopper.
well, that's what I said. I said I hit him with everything. I hit him with the Whopper line, have it your way. Did you get to wear the crown? I hit all of it. But then I'm a little bit further in. Very good. And I'm talking about doing puzzles. And I was like, did you guys know that you can get custom puzzles made? That's something you can do. And this one lady goes, yep. Like that. I was like, oh, ma'am, did you get a puzzle made? And she's like, I got a picture of my son printed. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, why didn't you just did you give it to your son, a picture of his own face? And she's like, no, I wanted to keep it. I was like, why didn't you just frame a picture of your son? And she goes, because I couldn't throw darts at it. And I was like, what? And everybody started laughing really hard. And I was like, can you tell me in one sentence why you wanted to throw darts at a picture of your son's face?
Because he calls himself D-Pick
That's
Nick.
exactly
That's
what I
why.
said. I was like, is he D-Pick Nick? Is that who this is? And she just goes, no. Like that, all mad at me for bringing it up. And I was like, I don't know where the hell I am right now or what's going on. There was a dude in the front row of that same show. His name was Pork Chop. I posted about him on Twitter.
There's going
Get
to
his
be
number?
a pork
Yeah,
chop.
It's legitimately his name, you guys, is what I couldn't fathom, that his name was Pork Chop on his stuff. He had on a shirt that was too small and a Confederate flag ring, a big, giant, it looked like costume jewelry that had a Confederate flag on it. His mom was with him, Mama Pork Chop. It was just insane. It was
But I mean,
very
that's
strange.
not his name, like his God-given name.
It was on his like casino card. It was on like everything. I didn't check his ID, but like it's on all of his stuff. He
It was
goes
his
by Pork
party
Chop.
alias.
Yeah. Whatever
When
it
he's
is.
at the casino,
He's
Pork
Pork
Chop.
Chop.
he's Pork Chop.
It was insane, dude.
Don't pork chop.
We were
Which is ironic because he didn't even eat pork.
right.
Yeah. It's Muslim.
Muslim thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Confederate flag thing. Usually, you think they would.
Right. Well, it
But
makes for
heads.
strange bedfellows.
So it was fine, and it was just a lot of people that were very small towny. And then when I got to West Virginia, I was like, okay, there's no way this crowd can be weirder than that crowd was.
Right.
And they 100% were. Like, these people showed up to the 7 p.m. Friday show blasted. I mean, like drunk, like celebration drunk, wedding drunk. And they're all shouting throughout my set, and then like this one lady walks in late and she's like, oh my god, my cousin, and just like that, and she's like talking to her cousin. I was like, hold on, what's going on here? And they're like, oh, we're cousins, we didn't know we were going to be at the same show. And I was like, oh man, what do you do for a living? And she goes, I'm a hoe. Just like that. And I was like, for real? And she goes, yeah, I'm a lot lizard. And like, I
Yeah.
didn't know that anybody would admit to being a prostitute.
That's
Just
where
like
she's getting
that.
some clients.
Dude, I don't know, but she's met her cousins. They started she just said it. She just said it out in the open.
Lot lizard.
And everybody was excited about it. And it like maybe I'm not kidding.
She's trying to get that's viral marketing for her.
Dude, probably.
Literally.
She's
Yeah.
at the casino and she's like, hey,
She's probably got a virus.
these people have got money. She's a hoe, and I'm like, well, good for you, I guess. Everybody
How'd
earns
she
the
look?
days. She fine. West
you-
Virginia 7.
West Virginia 7.
She was like tall, thin,
Okay.
little
Like
aged,
tweaked kinda?
kind of tweaked,
Appalachia?
blown out hair, a little bit, a little frizzy.
Okay.
But she was nice, she was very sweet, very drunk.
Well, you gotta cut you have to cut a very dynamic figure to catch the eye of those truckers.
Right.
They probably have a lot of choices.
A lot lizard.
A lot lizard. She just threw it out there. I don't know if she was joking because everybody kind of accepted that as a thing that people did. So I was like, oh, this very well may be what her job is. And then about 10 minutes after that, this guy comes and sits in the front row by himself with a Bud Light. I said something about 3 times before this. Somebody had shouted, welcome to West Virginia, like at random points throughout my set when I was like acknowledging something being weird. This guy comes in late, sits in the front row by himself. And I was like, where were you at, sir? And he's like, you don't want to know. Like that. I was like, oh, were you with the lot lizard? And I like made a joke and he's like, no, but I'd buy you a pizza to meet me in the parking lot. I was like, what is going on in this city? Like, it's like
Now
just
just a small and one topping.
Right.
Hopefully that's enough to get you out there.
Well, I was like, I like veggie pizza, and that like offended him more than anything I had said that I enjoyed
course.
vegetables on pizza.
What?
But I got propositioned for pizza. I met a prostitute. At one point, they started a fireball chant in the middle of my set. This is the 7 p.m. show.
Yeah, not the late drunk
Not
show.
the late show. This is the 7 p.m. show. And I mentioned drinking Fireball when I was drinking, and then they started just the lot lizard shouted to her cousin. She held her hand up and just goes Fireball like that, and then everyone in the room. It was crazy.
So there was no.
There was no policing this room.
I was
going
going
to
to say
no.
from the jump, there
No.
was no illusion of
No.
like, oh, this will be a fun, traditional show
No.
where people respect the artist.
Nope.
And, nope.
Of my 50 minutes, I'm not exaggerating. I probably talked to the crowd for 35.
You might as
because-
well have just been standing in someone's front yard.
Exactly. And then, so they're shouting Fireball at each other. And then it got to like minute probably into the 40s. I had like maybe less than 10 minutes left. And these guys are all yelling back and forth. And I applaud them for being so drunk and keeping up because they were calling back to the lot lizard. They were calling back to like, this one dude was with his daughter. I asked if they were dating. And he's like, no, this is my daughter, $2.50 an hour if you want her. And I was like, what is happening? Like, it was just, I didn't think that West Virginia was going to be so stereotypical.
Yeah, stereotypes don't pop out of thin air.
I was blown away by these people, and I couldn't.
But
and
they're
they
drunk,
were
though.
They
Of
were
course,
drunk. They
everyone's
were having a
stereotypical
good
when
time.
they're drunk, though.
They were
There's a
having
lot
good
of
time
drunk people around here are not selling their daughters to be lot
for
lizards.
$2.50 an hour, and that's a different guy than the lot. But they were all interacting, and it got to I had less than 10 minutes left, and I I kind of started to get pissed. I was like, all right, do you guys just want to quit? Because I'm in my last 10 minutes and I have been fighting with you for 38 minutes. Like,
So
I don't
you
want to do
weren't,
this anymore.
you didn't like buy in and kind of get
I
on
did.
a roll with them.
I
mean, you
did
were-
for the first 35 minutes. I was going back and forth, trying to do a bit, but then they'd yell and I'd have to go
Right.
off on a different tangent.
You're like, I thought you guys were going to be different.
I did
They're
a
like,
room
nope.
in West Virginia, and there was a girl that was like flirting with me. This was like early in my career. I'm probably 23, 24, and I don't have I'm just stunned. A girl wants my attention. Like she wants, and then she's playing like this long con with me. Like we're drinking, but I don't really drink back then.
Yeah.
And she's flirting with me, and then she just gets, and I don't know how to like move it forward either.
Yeah.
Because I'm just sober as the day is long, and just like, yeah, you're a nice girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. And then like finally she just leans over to me and she goes, listen, I like crack. And I want to buy some crack.
Yeah.
I need $20 to buy crack. I will go upstairs with you to your room, do whatever you want.
Sign your
If you give-
document.
yes, for $20. And I said, I'm good.
Well,
You weren't curious?
No.
$20.
Crack.
so
So what? She's not smoking it with you.
Yeah, she's
you're giving her
giving
the,
it
you're
up.
getting something, then you
This
give her
is-
the
person
money.
like that
and
is a
she-
liability.
And she go with whom?
She's gonna go upstairs with you,
and then go. You kick her out of the room, and then she goes to smoke
Nah.
the
Yeah. Someone like that
aforementioned
has
But she
a
crack.
also, like, she was trashy looking, and she was kind of, but I was also
You'll
like,
get something.
You want
Yeah,
one of
I
those
just- I
classy
didn't
crack
want
whores,
yeah,
is what you're
I
saying.
didn't
you want a
want a
lot
crack
lizard.
whore.
You want somebody who's
And I didn't
really
wanna-
nice.
Yeah,
It's
I
a-
was just like, this is not gonna happen.
Excuse me, young man, pardon me. I must procure some rock cocaine.
I love how she just got so fed up with me.
Oh, she just
being
said
a
it,
nice
like,
guy.
yeah.
That she's like, I like crack.
Well,
and I'm
so-
gonna need some money for crack.
after the Late Show, which, by the way, also, there was like 15 people who stayed from the early show to watch the Late Show. That was very strange to me. But
It's a
after
good
the
show.
Late
You got Stephen Colbert, and he's very.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This very, very drunk man came up to us and he was like, hey, good show, guys. And then he looked at me and he goes, were you the girl I made out with 10 minutes ago? And I was like, nope, sure wasn't, like that. And then Jimmy, the other comic who was like playing into it, he's like, what'd she look like? We'll help you find her. And he goes, I'll be honest with you, she's probably 50. And I was like, why would you think that was me then? She's probably 50. And I was like, you just made out. He's like, she's got like brunette hair. It's like short. And she went down on me in the parking lot. And he's like going on all this stuff. And I was like, I was just, my eyes were opened to why West Virginia has talked about the way
But
that
then
it is.
you probably didn't hear anything after she looked like she was 50, because then you were consumed with why he thought you looked 50.
Well, this dude, his eyes were glassed over. He couldn't focus on anything. Like, he was wasted. I think he just saw another woman and was like, are you her? Like, he's just asking everybody. But,
Alan,
he was
if a lot
blasted.
lizard has all her teeth and she's good looking, she's a cop. Well, I think we could probably figure that out.
yeah, there you go.
She's attractive and she's. Yeah.
I was
Or
just.
it's her first day.
Yeah, I mean,
And she's been driven to it. Yeah,
Could be.
She could be a newbie.
I was just very, very. It was like culture shock a little bit.
Sure.
That I was like, I can't believe this is real.
It's all real. Man.
Like that, all of, and I'm like, oh, haha, people rag on West Virginia because it's easy. And then I was like, oh my God, you guys are fueling this fire so hard. Like, they're so into it. And they're like, just lean into whatever stereotype.
It's even more culture shock if you're somewhere like WVU. If
Yeah.
you're on campus and then you go out into the wild of West
Oh,
Virginia.
yeah, I
and it's
bet.
like, oh
That's
my
where the crackhead
God.
was in
Morgantown?
Morgantown, yeah.
Yeah, it was a wild weekend.
I
There was-
like crack.
I like
and
crack.
I'm a
And she was
third-year
so-
senior.
She was so just forward about. I like crack.
The way that you said it, I heard it like Oprah.
Yeah.
I love
bread.
Like, that's how I,
I
heard
eat
it.
bread every day.
I like crack.
She's just very nonchalant about it.
There was this blasted dude who had like $4,000.
Love bread.
Yes, I like crack. And the table maximum was $1,000, and he was betting $1,000, and he started to get like really angry that they wouldn't let him bet more, and he was like yelling at the pit boss. He's like, I don't understand why I can't bet $4,000 on one hand, and the guy's like, relax, dude. Like, you could, in 4 hands it'll be gone. Like, and this
Right.
dude was like jumping around. It was insane. But he was like in dirty clothes and like a trucker hat, and I'm like, how's this guy just got $4,000 to just play with and be dressed like that? You know, it just didn't make sense, I guess.
Because he sells crack
Okay, there it is. Very wild
to the
weekend.
local lot lizards. All right,
But the shows were fun.
good. After all that,
I love rent.
Bet Tiffany Haddish doesn't have to mess with that
No.
nonsense. She's coming to do MGM Northfield Park on the 31st of this month. That's going to be, this Friday night, right? This Friday night? Yeah, look at that. You want to see Tiffany Haddish? I'll have tickets for you after the break. 35192 if you want to text for anything.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. Go fund yourself on WMMS.